My name is Shanae George. I'm a psychotherapist and founder of Culture Minds Therapy. My role is to take therapy outside of the office and to you all at home. I bring to you the mind behind your favourite guests. We speak about mental health, therapy and self-care. Hi everyone, welcome to Therapy with Shah. Today joining me is a very, very talented special guest. Please welcome Nina Rose. Thank you for coming.
Nice welcome.
I've been wanting to interview you for a long time. We were in talks a few years ago.
Yeah.
Before COVID, right?
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You're here today. How are you feeling?
Good. I feel nice. Like, it's nice energy in here. As soon as I came in the room, I felt quite relaxed. So,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
Nice. And the lights? You
Yeah,
like
the
the
light.
lights?
I love a bit of mood lighting.
Oh,
It's, yeah.
lovely, yes. And I've
a
got
bit
my
of me.
socks off because I'm comfortable. Yeah, so no, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you being here. I love what you do. I love your work.
Thank you.
And I remember hearing your voice when you were singing on Instagram. And I was like, Nina, I didn't know you could sing. And I said to you, yep, we need to see more of this, please. And then you was like, yeah, bear with me, I'm coming. And here you are today, singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
I love your songs. And
you.
we were speaking off camera,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to remember now. And we were talking about what I was telling you, the songs that I like and how they link to my life. And I think your vibe is very international. Very cultural.
Speak it international. We want to be international this year.
Speak
Come
it.
on. Yeah.
But yeah, no, very international, very cultural, and very catchy. And I don't think there's no one like you. In all honesty, in the UK, I'm being serious. I know. I don't think there's no one like you.
What's going on? I really appreciate that. No, that means
but
a
I
lot.
don't. There's no one like you that makes catchy songs like you do. You know, when we think about the ladies who are in music at the moment, it's either grime, drill, talking about their lifestyle and where they've come from.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong in doing that. But I like the songs that you sing, you know. It's vibesy, it's catchy, you can dance to it, you drive in your car to it, get ready to it, feel empowered by it. So you've got different genres and they're relatable, but they're also uplifting. So I can listen to your song in the car with my daughter, with my mum, and not feel like, swearing, or, you know. So definitely continue what you're doing and with the genres that you are doing, because it definitely suits you and is what we need. Because I like it and I'm sure many people like it as well.
Thank you. I love that.
When was the last time you were happy?
Last night, because I went out with my cousin, a catch up. We haven't seen each other for like 3 years. So yeah, we went for dinner, like a belated birthday gift. And yeah, we had lots of cocktails and it was a good time. Yeah. So I was there last night. I'm happy now as well, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Happy to be here.
Today was the last time you were happy.
Yeah.
But no, I asked that because obviously we're here to speak about mental health and your mood can fluctuate from time to time. So it's nice to just know, you know, when was the last time you were happy? What were you doing? And also, what makes you feel happy?
Yeah, food, number one, makes me feel happy. I like trying different cuisines. I actually get excited. You know the people that make the little song that you do when you're eating something good? That's me. From a kid, I've done that. I always get cussed by my mum for doing it, but whatever. So eating, spending time with my friends and family, being in nature. Yeah, tree hugging, touching leaves, and grounded. If it's the right weather, you know, you can, you know, immerse your feet into the grass and that kind of thing. But I didn't realise how much that made me happy.
Okay.
Until I started doing a bit of inner child work and remembering the things that I enjoyed as a kid, and yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. I like that. Remembering the things you enjoyed as a child and actually doing it now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we get lost in translation when it comes to being an adult, adulting, bills, work, getting into that rat race. And we actually forget what we enjoyed when we were younger. What did I enjoy? When I was younger, playing computer games. I loved computer games.
Was you like a Tekken girl?
Oh my God, I was. Tekken, Grand Theft Auto, Pac-Man, Zelda. Listen, I was actually a gamer. I should start a YouTube channel and do gaming. But no, I loved playing games actually.
Were you good?
Yeah, I was. Okay. I got to the level where I was good because my dad and my brother loved it. So I kind of joined in.
Yeah.
And I think gaming was part of our culture actually. And it brought us together as a family. Tetris as well. And yeah, like my family is a very gamey type family. But yeah, no, that's nice. I really, really like that. And I'm going to take that and think about that, even myself. And think about things that I used to enjoy.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you've been doing amazing things. Singer-songwriter, we know that. But you've also been on The Cabins.
Yes, I have.
How was that?
It was an experience, to say the least. Because we actually started filming during lockdown. So
okay.
I'm shocked actually that they were doing a TV show during that time. But we were. I basically got the train down to Glasgow to go down to The Cabins, and I remember just sitting on the train thinking, oh my gosh, am I actually doing this? I'm about to be on TV, a dating show. My mum and dad's going to see this. Like, I was just going out of my mind. I had a little cry because I was a bit like, it's too late now. I'm here now. I have to, whatever is going to be is going to be. And when I got there, the people were really nice. Like, they greet you at the train station. You get taken in the cab. It's like, what would you like to eat? Like, anything you want. I was like, anything? I think I ate Nando's for like 4 days, but whatever. And I mean, I probably should have gone a bit better, but whatever. That's what I felt for. But at the time, you're only allowed to leave out like for an hour for the day. So before you go into the cabins, you're held in a hotel. Well, you get your COVID test back and whatever.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time alone. Obviously, I had my phone and stuff, so I was talking to people, but I had a few moments where I was just like, you know what, let me just sit and be with self. And I actually wrote a song, one of my singles, High, while I was in there, in the hotel. But anyway, once I got to the cabins, it was like cameras everywhere. Now, I'm used to the camera because I used to be a presenter.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really a problem for me, but they were everywhere, like in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Wow. Yeah. We would just be sitting down talking and the cameras would be moving as soon as you move. It was intense. God. It was super intense. But I got on really well with Ade, and we kind of just cracked jokes throughout the whole thing because we were both like, are we actually doing this? Can't believe we're actually doing this. Oh, wow. They had to cut out lots of stuff because we were saying...
Oh, is it? Say the truth.
Say the truth. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. I don't regret anything. And it's kind of given me a different audience as well.
Okay.
In terms of, demographic and even race, to be fair.
International.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Worldwide, baby. That's the plan. But yeah, no, it was a good experience all in all. Would I do a dating show again? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, probably not. If it's not Love Island, do you know what I mean? It's like a meal ticket. Unless in the end.
Okay, yeah. So... Were you looking for love, a relationship before you went on The Cabins?
I was techie, because I was actually dating before I went in
there.
Oh,
what? Okay.
Yeah, I know. It was like an awkward conversation. Like, by the way, I'm going on a dating show. I don't know how you feel about this, but so I wasn't necessarily looking for it. I was just dating and just,
just seeing how things go.
Yeah, seeing how things go. But I didn't expect anything in terms of like, I'm going to meet the love of my life. Okay, yeah. But I did think if something comes of it, then yeah, great. That's a plus. But it was more about like just put myself out there, bit of exposure, working with ITV. That was really good as well. Okay. Yeah.
What would you rate the experience overall out of 10?
Oh, wow. I'm going to say 8 out of 10.
Okay, that's quite high.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything about yourself when it comes to relationships or even you as a person?
Yeah, I did. I was able to see, especially when you don't get to see the edit. So when you're watching it back, it's like I'm watching it back with everyone else. So I'm maybe not as patient as I thought I was. Because I was getting really irritated by him. I kept making these comments and like when he was talking to me too much, I was like, are you going to talk all night? Like it was very much like that. For people it was comical, but for me I was a bit like, oh, that was a bit mean.
Mm.
But and I think growing up with brothers, I only have brothers, so I'm very, when it comes to men, I'm a little bit like, I don't really have that much patience.
Okay.
But we're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it.
All
But
in time.
yeah, that's what I say I learned about myself. Just maybe not as patient as I thought.
Okay. Actually, I'm just going to be honest. I like your hair. When you were talking, do you know what? I'm being serious. No, when you were talking, I was actually looking at your hair, and because I remember you talking about your journey with your hair and transitioning. So I'm looking at your hair, thinking your hair's nice.
Thank you.
How's the transition journey going with your hair?
Oh my gosh, it's been a journey and a half. I can't lie. I was wearing wigs for the first year that I had locks. I was like, this is not cute. What these little, what was I calling them? Chicken nugget locks, because they were really tiny and just whatever. I didn't embrace it in the beginning, and which, to be fair, isn't really the right energy to have when you have locks. Because when you do start your lock journey, you're kind of supposed to just strip bare and just accept this is who I am.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it's essentially dead hair. You're carrying the weight of any hair that you normally brush out, or in the blow dry it comes out. It stays with you. Do you get what I mean? So it's a spiritual thing as well as fashion. Because I think at the moment a lot of people just get locks.
What's those locks called?
Faux locks.
Yeah,
yeah.
faux
Which you can get some good ones, and some just are absolutely trash. Sorry for people that wear them, but talk to your hairdresser. And maybe because I have locks, it's a bit offensive.
Yeah, but I can understand that.
Even though I've worn faux locks on top of mine for like music videos, if like extra length or whatever. But yeah, anyway, that's a whole different thing.
But oh god,
yeah, go on.
Okay, that's a nice link, because I never knew that side of when you get dreadlocks. I don't really know much about dreadlocks. I just know that back in St. Lucia.
Is that what you're from?
I'm from St. Lucia. Okay. So when I would see Rastafarians, I would feel very safe around them, actually. And I think it's a cultural thing, but I never knew the in-depths of dreadlocks and it being, linked to yourself and who you are as a person. Yeah. And you've made me think differently about it. And transitioning then to getting dreadlocks, what made you want to get dreadlocks?
I've always wanted locks. I've always loved locks. And see what you mentioned about feeling safe, it wasn't even really safety. When I see people with locks, I get this kind of regal vibe. I get this like king queen thing when I see them, because I don't know, it's like Carrie and a mane. It's really beautiful, but because there's the other side where people kind of look down on locks, like, oh, they're not clean, or that you don't wash your hair often. There's all these myths about locks that kind of put me off. And then I kept going into, once I stopped relaxing my hair and I was going through my natural hair journey, I kept going into the salon like, hey guys, I'm just gonna get treatment. And they're like, okay. And I'd always sit and watch them doing other people's locks. And then one day my stylist, Narissa, she was just like, you want to start your locks? I was like, I don't know. I mean, they're all the excuses under the sun why not to do it. And then, one day I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start it. But the first thing I did was put a headscarf on, because I was like, they're too little. No, I don't want to show anyone or whatever. And then at the time I was on Backchat, so there was a certain look that I wanted to portray. But then my wigs were high because I couldn't really stuff my locks underneath them. And then I was kind of forced to just wear them once it came to lockdown. Once again, I feel like the pandemic really taught me a lot about myself and how I see myself, because I'm a very confident woman, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not ashamed of this and that, but I actually was ashamed of my hair. I didn't really want to show it. And then I was like, I can't walk around my house with wigs throughout this whole time. I'm just in that, where I'm just indoors. So I just free up the locks them, and people were like, wow, they're really nice. And even when they were quite short, and I was like, oh wow, like, this is cute. Okay. Yeah.
No, they're lovely, and I like the color as well, and I like the length, and I like the size.
Thank you.
In relation to how long you can
carry you around in my pocket just to talk to me all day.
Like the energy. No, but I'm very I'm just looking at them when you're talking. I'm looking at them, looking at you obviously as well, but looking at them. How long do you want to grow your locks?
I do think maybe like hip length.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Do you want them like bongo? Because Jay-Z's got locks, hasn't he?
Yeah, his are free form though.
Okay. So what's the difference?
So my hair's like in sections, like I have partings.
Okay.
But his just grow. They just
right. Okay.
Like, they're not separated, if that makes sense. But there's different types. Some people will like the free form look. I don't. So it's not a bit of me, not for me anyway. Okay. But it works for him.
Okay, yeah. No shade to Jay-Z.
No shade to Jay-Z.
Okay, so I'm getting the vibe from you that you've come from a place where you've learned a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And you're transitioning into a person that loves yourself more than maybe what you did in the past.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's showing in your music, in your hair, in your body language, in your aura. So let's talk about maybe the place that you've come from to where you are now. What is that place you've come from to where you are now?
I think really where to start. Like, I feel like music almost saved my life, if that's the best way I can describe it. Like, I've always come from music. As a kid, I've been in choir. I used to do all the talent shows, and I've loved singing and dancing. But I lost a lot of confidence in that growing up, because you know there's a certain way you're supposed to sing or supposed to sound, or you might have that one day you have the bum note and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't sing, this is terrible, I'm never going to sing in front of anybody again. And slowly but surely I just got less and less confident with it, and I started doing like artist management and development, but it was like for me to be in the backseat and not put myself at the front. But then it got to a point in time where I felt like I wanted it more than the people that I was working with, and I was just like, why am I sleeping on myself? Like, why can't I do this? But at the time, I was presenting and hosting, and I thought, that transition, how is that going to work? How are people going to see it? I don't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none, you know. I want to see one thing through. And I was quite good at the presenting and stuff. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know, it kind of got weird. I was in a relationship at the time, and we were both striving to be presenters. Okay. And then it got a bit competitive and weird. And then I wanted something more for myself. I knew I wanted more than just being a presenter. I wanted to do the music. I just didn't know how to put myself in it. But I think going through that time, I know it sounds weird to say you was in competition with your partner, but like it happens. Yeah. And then they were going through quite a heavy time with their mental health, and I think it's the first time that I ever had to deal with that or had to see it firsthand, if that makes sense. You know, people talk to you about being depressed or having anxiety, and you know of it. But I never had that first-hand experience. So yeah, it was really challenging, and I lost myself a lot within that relationship because I spent a lot of time caring for that person. Yeah. Oh, wow. And yeah, I actually almost lost my job because I used to because for me, I've always been a bit of a people pleaser from a young age. So no matter what, who you are, like, I'll put you before I put myself. So yeah, when they're having all these like panic attacks and stuff, I didn't really know how to manage it. And initially, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was just, all right, you're just doing this for attention, or you don't want me to go out today, or you're just in a weird space. But it became super overwhelming to the point that like you lose your friends are trying to beg you to like come out of a situation or see what's going on, and because you do care and love care for and love that person, it's hard to see past it. So she used to have this thing where she'd have like these 2 to 3 minute blackouts. So we were having a conversation, then she's just gone. Like, you okay? Like, you don't know if she's breathing. Is it like wow. So I had to take time out and actually take time and do some research into what mental health is, what anxiety is, what triggers these things. And a lot of it was trauma from the past. But I felt like I was responsible. Okay. And yeah, I'm saying all that because that was just the whirlwind that I was in, because I was still trying to pursue my presenting goal, presenting dreams, and manage what was going on in my life. But that was very heavy, and it was, the first time I had to deal with it. So I went within myself, and I didn't do the things that I enjoyed anymore. I wasn't really pushing myself. I put on weight, like that kind of stuff. And then, once I came out of that relationship, eventually, I just had to strip myself bare. Like, who are you? Like, what do you enjoy? What is it that you want out of life? And I was quite young then. It was between 24 and 26 and a half. Not saying my age, but you know, I'm grown. And you value different things. And I value myself even more so now. I know what I want from love and what I don't want from love, what I'll accept, what I won't accept, what I will accept and what I won't accept. And I think we get this warped image of what love is growing up. This like you are my be all and end all. I will give you everything, but that is so toxic and unhealthy. But it's this fairy tale love that you get sold to. You feel like, oh, I'm doing the right thing by doing this. But I think a lot of the time I was actually enabling a lot of behavior and things. And anyway, long story, fast forward, I know now that the person has multiple personality disorder, which I now understand because there was a lot of, I don't know what version of you I'm going to get today.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Oh,
I hope I'm making sense here.
Yeah, no, you are. Yeah. And it seems like, you know, you had to deal with a lot because, you know, being there for someone who is mentally unwell, especially when you don't understand, that can almost take its toll on you.
Yeah.
But it seems like you were kind of trying to do the research, but then it was also impacting you to the extent where you had to come out of that. And that's okay, you know. I don't want you to feel, I don't know if you do feel, but I don't want you to feel guilty because of that.
At one point in time I did.
Okay.
I did, but I've grown past that and I have an understanding of where they were and where I was at.
And that's what it is. It's understanding where you are at and when they're at, and just doing things for yourself and always putting yourself first.
Yeah.
As a bisexual woman, do you feel that there's maybe stigma against yourself when it comes to who you are and maybe mental health as well?
Not so much now. I think the more open I've been with it, the more others have embraced it or have come up to me and had conversations or confided in me or, you know, said, you know, it's really powerful even hearing you speak about it, especially as a Black woman, because it's quite taboo within the Black community to be get anything that's outside of the norms. So I feel like even the story that I just told you, that was a big issue on top of me feeling like, oh, I'm disappointing my family, or like maybe I'm a disgrace, like because this is coming along. And I wasn't ready to have that conversation with them, but because how intense the relationship was and how the person was, I didn't really get a chance to not say it, if that makes sense. So I just felt forced to tell my mum and dad. I sent them a group text together. I was like, yeah, guys, this is the situation. It's been like this for a little while. So, but for them, it was like a blame game because they're like, no, this isn't you. This is what she's done to you. You've never been like this. But as parents, you know, they have their own hopes and things for you, or they have plans for you. I'm the only girl as well, so I know for my mum at first it was just a bit like, oh, for goodness sake, like grandchildren, like or whatever. So there was those pressures, and you do feel like you have to be a certain way. There's times I used to just wish that I would just like men, and that was it. And that was hard because you're battling yourself. Like I'd get annoyed at myself. I was so in denial, and that also affected the relationship because I couldn't really be my full self because I didn't really want to accept what it was. So yeah, challenges up. But now I'm just, it's whatever. Like my life is my life, and it, you know, my parents have lived their life and they've done what they want, made the choices they've made for themselves, and I should be free to make the choices I want to make for myself. And I do want to empower and encourage other Black people who are within the LGBTQIA plus community. God, that's another conversation. To just be you, be you, and be okay with that, and don't look for validation. I think I was seeking validation so much. I was asking all my friends. I was talking to my cousins. I was talking to my brothers. I wanted someone to tell me that it's going to be okay, but I had to tell myself that it was going to be okay, and this is a choice that I have made for myself, and I'm happy with me.
And that's the main thing, just being happy with yourself. When did you know you were bisexual? Was there at any point in your life where you felt like, okay, I feel this way?
Not really. I suppose it's just a feeling. You kind of just know.
Okay.
You just know. I've always been quite a free spirit and quite out there from a child, really.
Okay.
And wanting to explore things or wanting to understand different parts of myself. So I think I've always known, but
you try to hold it in as you got older.
Exactly. And I was brought up in a Christian home as well, so that was never an option. You know, I was church. I was junior church leader, and I used to run the choir as well. So for a lot of the time, I was battling that because I'd not long got baptized. I think got baptized when I was about 17. So I had this thing that I'm a leader, I'm a role model. No one can see anything different about me, or I don't want to. I can't show that side, and that in itself was a struggle because when I first came out, I actually spoke to my pastor because I was just like, girl, I can't do this. And I don't want to live a double life, or I don't want to pretend I'm somebody that I'm not. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it does sound like battling with yourself. And I guess when you were open with yourself, as you are now, you're more free, you're more confident, you're more happy. And, you know, this interview, I hope that it inspires many people to be open and just to be themselves.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, your parents have their life, you have your life. And we need to live in a world where we're not judging, or we don't have judgment on others, because no one is perfect and everyone is entitled to live their life. You live your life, I will live my life. And, you know, as I said, I can see how you are now and your energy and the vibe that you give off. When you did come out and you did, you know, speak to your pastor and your parents, did you seek therapy, or how was that process for you?
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, now my relationship with mum and dad is even better than it ever has been, because I am honest. When you have when there's confusion, or you're not sure, or you're given like these side answers that don't make it clear, it makes it harder. Difficult. But now that I'm like, this is what it is, and this is what the options could be, like, we have a better understanding and they respect me more as a person. But I think at the time I was very like confused. Okay. And I didn't really know how to express it. But then the therapy side kind of came from the toll that the relationship took on me, because you kind of feel lost when you're used to like caring for somebody or being that person, and then that disappears. It's like, oh, so what is my purpose then? And I kind of, I had to sit and have these sessions. The first few sessions were hard. I was crying. I just spent the time crying. I didn't really have much conversation. I just used to they'd ask a question that would trigger me, and I was like, like, it was a lot. But I'm grateful for that, because I think that's another thing within the Black community that is a bit taboo. Even when I, first said to some people that I was going to get therapy, they were like, why are you going to do that? Like, just pray about it, or just talk to someone. And like, I've been talking and it's not helping me. So it's nice to speak to somebody outside of my family or my friends that is not going to judge the situation. They don't know anybody involved. It was really good. I really recommend therapy. And I'm actually looking to doing that some more, like, because I only did that for maybe like 3 or 4 months. But yeah.
But I think as a therapist myself, I think that's the benefit of therapy, or that's what a lot of people find helpful about therapy. There's no attachment there. And your therapist, although you build that relationship, they're still a stranger to you. So you don't have that attachment. There's no, I'm going to see you tomorrow, I'm going to bump into you. And that helps people feel more vulnerable and being able to open up, which is a shame, because I feel that in our community, we should feel comfortable with opening up also to our family, but knowing the boundaries and, okay, I speak to my therapist about this, but then also feeling comfortable to speak to my family and friends about this, essentially. What's one thing you've learned from therapy that you would say that's helped you a lot?
I'm in control of all Black aspects of my life. Like, I'm actually in control. And I think when you're in a dark place, or you are going through any form of like mental health, it does feel a bit dark. You feel like there's nothing is going to make it better. You don't feel anything is going to make it better. You don't see past the dark moment. Because if I take myself back, like, I'm surprised I'm sitting here today and just being so open, so free, because
that's lovely.
There was definitely a time that I was like, this is it. Like, I don't care. I want to sit in the dark all day and just sit and nobody bother me. And that's that. But you are in control and you can turn things around. Even just having a positive mindset, just changing the way that I think, or a lot of stuff I used to panic and stress about. I didn't need to panic and stress about, because I feel like we spend a lot more time making up things in our head,
thinking of the worst,
than actually dealing with the situation head on. And it's something that I talk to like my niece and nephew and like younger people within my family about, because I think growing up, I didn't really have anybody to talk to you about mental health. You see people in the street like, who are a bit crazy, or they're going through something, and we scorn them, or we look at them in a certain way, like, oh my God, like, scary, don't talk to me. But you don't know where that person's come from. And if you don't seek therapy, or if you don't try and address what's going on with you, it does get to that extent where it's
severe.
And I just think more open conversations and stuff like that is really important around mental health, and from a young age, I think.
Definitely. I totally agree. I love that. And I feel like it's really nice to I feel like just sitting with you here and talking, I've kind of understood your journey in different little chapters, and it's so nice. Thank you for being so open as well, and being so vulnerable and talking about, you know, sensitive topics that other people won't necessarily feel comfortable to speak about.
Of course.
So I know that these interviews will inspire many people, because that's why I do it, you know. I interview people who I know are going to inspire many other people, and then that's where the domino effect takes place. Okay, so we're coming to the end. Do you have a question for me?
I feel like I am an empath, and I've always had quite an empathic energy. My friends come to me for advice. I'm quite good with speaking to people and listening and stuff like that. But I feel like being a therapist, or any kind of, being a therapist or anyone who, counselor or whatever, is quite a heavy job. Maybe because I take on things quite like, I'm a very emotional character. So you tell me, you're like, I'm gonna cry with you, basically.
Okay, yeah.
What made you actually want to do this as like a job?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, a lot of things actually. I feel like when I was younger, I've always wanted to be a clinical psychologist. I don't know where that came from, but I've always wanted to be a clinical psychologist. I've always enjoyed understanding about the mind and the way people think and the way we feel from a young age. And I was fortunate enough to get into that field quite early on, and, you know, do work experience, work in hospitals, and become a therapist as I am today. So I've always had that interest there, and I just kind of went with it. And as I said, fortunate enough to kind of go through it and stick with it.
Yeah.
And then now I can be more creative with it. So I love it even more. And yeah, just inquisitive. And I love my role because I love helping people. And I think I understand when it comes to being an empath, I feel like because I've been in a role for many years, I know where I can take you.
Okay.
So I'm already thinking, I know where I'm going to take you. I know I can take you to that better place. I just want you to believe, because I already have that belief in you. And I think that's the mindset that I have with all of my clients. It's like, I know where I'm going to take you. And then session by session, we're gradually taking you there. And then when you get there, I'm like, job done.
Yeah.
So I think that's what motivates me as well, to love the career, because I know where it's going. And that's not the case with all clients as well. You know, some clients may not be ready, but for the ones who are ready, I know the journey, because I've had several clients who I've helped with similar presentations. And yeah, just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, that's a nice question.
That's okay.
What can we expect from you in the future?
So funny, you know that. You need to show more of your side. Yeah, because when I see you online, you come across that quite serious.
Oh, do I?
Yeah,
okay.
I do. Well, I did expect like quite a serious character.
Oh, did you?
Like meeting you in the flesh today is quite refreshing.
Okay, that's nice.
Quite like hard.
I think it's like I don't know whether I wear like a therapist hat, so I'm like, okay, therapy. I don't know, but I do have this kind of like giddy kind of side to me. But I guess.
Yeah, let her out. Let her out.
She's coming.
So
she's coming.
Yeah, let her out. It's so good. I find so much freedom in doing that. Because I can be weird and wacky. Obviously, some people see Nina Rose as this sort of character, or, you know, very sexy, sensual person who's whatever. But see me at home, or see even some of the content that I'm going to start putting out. So that kind of answers your question. I'm going to, as well as new music, I've got EP coming out in June.
Okay.
So I'm working on the EP, but I also want to do more content, like skits and just light-hearted stuff, because I think people take life so seriously, and it's not that deep. I mean, it's deep, but we need to just
just
we need to embrace the
and
fruits and the fun things, because otherwise, what's the point? And this is a message that I really want to put out there, because I think since the pandemic, I know we always talk about it, but we have to, because I think this is the first time I've actually been in the world's frequency. Outside of that, when I was younger, I used to just go around. I didn't care what was going on. I know the first time I ever experienced anxiety was when I used to hear stuff about war and stuff on the news in primary school. I remember I used to say to my mum and dad, I don't want to hear it, because it makes me feel a certain way. And now I'm an adult, I get why I wanted to separate myself from that. Because
rightly so.
Yeah, because otherwise you get lost in what's going on with the world, and you don't want to pursue the things you want to do. You won't move forward, and you won't elevate. Do you know what I mean? I've got things to do. I want to travel. I want to get my music out there. I'm trying to be international, like you said. So I have to separate from the world's frequency, and I think that the more of us that do that, the happier we will be, and the more satisfied you'll be with this.
I love that. I love how you said the world's frequency. That is so powerful. That is very, very powerful. Because there is a world frequency out there. And if we get distracted in that frequency, who's to say what's going to happen? So it's so important for us to know our frequency, know what elevates our frequency, and know how to channel that and how to live that. I love that. That is so deep. I've learned so much from this interview. So thank you for coming, and thank you for teaching me as well, because not only do I do these interviews to hear people's stories and inspire others, I do it for me as well, because I find it healing and therapeutic for me as a therapist. It's kind of coming out of the norm, coming out of that 9-to-5 office, and coming out of that structure, and just being normal and having these conversations and learning. Because as a therapist, we're taught that our clients are the experts. We're taught that, we're the experts in therapy, psychology, but you're the expert in your health and how you feel. And that's so important. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's been nice.